The Jellybean Tree, written by JillE, illustrated by Ricky Rumsey. Every night, Grandpa Grundy squeezed his hand into his jellybean jar. He scooped out jellybeans the colours of the rainbow and plopped them in his mouth. Grandpa Grundy patted his wiggly-jiggly tummy and said, "Yum, yum, yum, yummy." One night when Grandpa Grundy squeezed his hand into the jellybean jar, there was only one jellybean left. "Well, pop my button," said Grandpa Grundy. "Only one jellybean. I can't eat that." Then Grandpa Grundy got a fantastic idea. "I will plant this jellybean," he said. "I will grow a jellybean tree. Then I will always have jellybeans in my jellybean jar." So Grandpa Grundy dug a hole in his backyard and poked the jellybean in. Then he did a wiggly-jiggly dance and he sang in his thundery voice, "Jellybean, jellybean, grow for me, grow into a jellybean tree." Grandpa Grundy's singing floated over the wall and whirled in the window of Millie O'Malley's house. Millie O'Malley poked her head over the wall. "Flapping flatfish, Grandpa Grundy," she said. "What are you doing?" "I'm growing a jellybean tree," said Grandpa Grundy. "Oh my," said Millie O'Malley. "A jellybean tree won't grow unless you do the shimmy shake around the jellybean every day." "That's easy peasy," said Grandpa Grundy. So every day Grandpa Grundy did the shimmy shake around the jellybean. It was a wiggly-jiggly, hopping, bopping, stamping, stomping shimmy shake. And Grandpa Grundy sang in his thundery voice, "Jellybean, jellybean, grow for me, grow into a jellybean tree." One night Millie O'Malley said, "Grandpa Grundy has done the shimmy shake long enough. It's time for the jellybean tree to grow." So Millie O'Malley dug up a tree from her own garden and she went creeping into Grandpa Grundy's backyard. Then Millie O'Malley planted the tree right on top of the jellybean. The next morning there was a tree waving its branches in Grandpa Grundy's backyard. "Well, pop my button," said Grandpa Grundy. "I have a jellybean tree. Now I will have jellybeans for my jellybean jar." Grandpa Grundy walked around the tree. He peered under the leaves and into the branches. No jellybeans. He climbed to the very top of the tree in case some were growing there, but Grandpa Grundy couldn't see one jellybean. Millie O'Malley popped her head over the wall. "Flapping flatfish, Grandpa Grundy," she said. "What are you doing up that tree?" "I'm looking for jellybeans," said Grandpa Grundy. "I have a jellybean tree, but no jellybeans." "Don't you know jellybeans won't grow," said Millie O'Malley, "unless you read stories to the tree every day?" "That's easy peasy," said Grandpa Grundy. So every day Grandpa Grundy sat under the tree and he read stories in his thundery voice. Magic stories, monster stories, wacky, wild and whispery stories. The wind picked up the stories and carried them away. The kids in the street said, "Grandpa Grundy is reading stories," and they stopped to listen. Then one day Millie O'Malley said, "Grandpa Grundy has read zillions of stories. It is time for jellybeans to grow." So that night Millie O'Malley went creeping into Grandpa Grundy's backyard and she tied jellybeans all over the tree. Grandpa Grundy's eyes weren't very good, but the next morning he thought he saw jellybeans dangling from the tree in his backyard. "Well, pop my buttons," he said. "At last I have jellybeans on my jellybean tree." And he did such a wiggly-jiggly, hopping, bopping, stamping, stomping, shimmy shake around the tree that all the jellybeans came tumbling down. Millie O'Malley heard all the commotion and she looked over the wall. "Flapping flatfish, Grandpa Grundy, why are you doing the shimmy shake?" "Jellybeans grew on my jellybean tree," said Grandpa Grundy. "Now I'll always have jellybeans in my jellybean jar." But Millie O'Malley said, "Oh me, oh my, don't you know, Grandpa Grundy? You won't ever have any more jelly beans. That's the trouble with jelly bean trees. They only grow jelly beans once.